gotten halfway through your romance story and realized you're just sort of winging it? The vibes are there, the characters are cute, but something feels off, like the story's floating without direction. You're not alone. Hi, I'm Helen, a writing coach and award-winning produced screenwriter with an MFA in creative writing. On my channel, I teach you the craft of romance storytelling. In this video, I walk you through how to use romancing the beat, Gwen Hayes' story structure made specifically for romance writers, to plot a love story that's emotionally rich, character-driven, and feels just right. Here's the thing. Romance isn't like other genres. In a thriller, structure is about action. In a mystery, it's about clues. But in romance, structure is about feelings, emotional shifts, inner transformation. The heart of a romance isn't just what happens, it's how it feels as it happens. And that's where romancing the beat comes in. It honors the emotional rhythm of a love story, from that flirty spark to the, oh no, we're doomed, all the way to the satisfying earned resolution. Without that rhythm, your story can feel lopsided. You might rush the falling in love part or spend too long at the mushy middle. Readers start to drift, not because your characters aren't lovable, but because the emotional journey hasn't been shaped with intention. This journey must flow like music, building, breaking, and blooming again. It has a pulse, a beat. When you honor that, your story will move your readers. Now that we understand romance has its own rhythm, let's talk about how you actually follow it. Because rhythm without direction, that's just noise. That's why Gwen Hayes' Romancing the Beat gives us a compass in the form of 4 emotional phases every satisfying romance story travels through. These aren't rigid acts. They're emotional stages your couple moves through as their relationship deepens, stumbles, and ultimately solidifies. Let's break them down. The setup. This is where we meet your main characters, understanding what's emotionally at stake and why love hasn't worked out for them. This phase ends with the meet cute, the moment they're pushed into each other's orbit. Falling in love. Here's where sparks fly. Your characters are bonding, bantering, feeling things. It's the beginning of change, but it's still tentative. The phase is full of fun, tension, and growing vulnerability, retreating from love. Things fall apart. The emotional risk gets too real. Someone panics, a truth is revealed. This is the breakup or emotional pull away, when both characters go back to their old patterns of fear. Fighting for love. Characters realize what they've lost, what they truly want, and who they're willing to become to earn it. This ends with the grand gesture or emotional payoff that makes readers swoon. In Crazy Rich Asians, Rachel and Nick start with strong chemistry, falling in love. But the pressure from Nick's family triggers the retreat from love. Rachel walks away. She chooses herself. And Nick has to show up differently to fight for their love. Fighting for love. The emotional arc tracks with the phases. These 4 phases act like signposts. If you ever feel lost while writing, come back to them. They'll help you find your way. Now that we're walking through the 4 major phases, let's zoom in and talk about what actually makes those phases work. The beats. Think of each beat like a step in a dance. Miss one and the rhythm feels off. Nail them with emotional intention. That's when your story really moves. Gwen Hayes breaks the romance arc into 20 emotional beats across 4 phases. These aren't just plot points, they're turning points for how your characters feel, fear, and eventually choose each other. Every beat should shift something emotionally, otherwise it's just fluff. Let's break them down phase by phase. Phase 1, the setup. This is where the foundation gets laid. Readers are meeting your lovers before they even know they're falling. Introducing the 2 leads shows us their lives before love complicates everything. What are they used to? What are they protecting? Meet cute. The moment they collide. It can be awkward, electric, or completely ridiculous, but it should stick. No way number 1. Someone, maybe both, internally or externally insists this will never happen. Ah, delusion. Adhesion. Life throws them together, maybe into a fake relationship, a shared job, or a locked room. They're stuck, deliciously so. In the proposal, Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds are forced into a fake engagement. Adhesion. Even though they clearly can't stand each other, no way, number one. Phase two, falling in love. Feelings start to simmer. It's swoony, but layered with resistance. No way, number two. They're still insisting this is just circumstantial, a phase, a fluke. Yeah, right. The inkling, a soft moment, a shared glance, a tiny shift where one sees something real in the other, deepening desire. Their bond grows, they begin to open up and emotionally risk something. Maybe this could work. They start to believe this feels different. Hope peeks through. Midpoint of love, the kiss, the hookup, the confession. This is the emotional and possibly physical climax of their closeness. And set it up, Harper and Charlie begin as reluctant co-conspirators. Adhesion. But during the pizza in the office moment, inkling, we start to feel it. Maybe this could work. By the time they're drunk dancing in a bodega, midpoint, it's undeniable. Phase three, retreating from love. And just like that, fear crashes the party. Old wounds resurface, the walls go up. Inkling of doubt. Something cracks. One or both start questioning if this can really work. Deepening doubt. Misunderstandings, sabotage, emotional spirals. The fears from no way number one and number two come roaring back. Retreat. There's distance. Now emotional or literal. They close off. Tell themselves they're better off alone. Breakup. The relationship collapses. Harsh words, silence. Maybe they don't even say goodbye. In Crazy Rich Asians, Rachel walks away after realizing Nick's world may always see her as not enough. It's not just about his mom. It's about her worth. That retreat hurts because the love felt real. Fighting for love. But this is a romance, and that means healing, growth, and hard-earned happily ever after. Dark night of the soul. Alone, broken, each sits with their pain and patterns. Wake up. They realize they have a choice. Stay stuck or step forward. This is the internal breakthrough. Grand gesture. One of them risks big. Not just flowers, but vulnerability. Wholehearted. They choose each other. Flaws and all. Love isn't perfect, but it's true. A peek at the future, peace, partnership, and possibility. In the hating game, Josh shows up for Lucy after all their tension, missteps, and pride different. And she meets him there wide open. That wholehearted moment hits because we saw them earn it. That's what I want you to remember. Every beat should move the emotional needle forward, backward, sideways. It doesn't matter. As long as the emotional tension is ever flowing, is evolving. Ask yourself, what's changing for my characters in this moment? What's being revealed, risked, or resisted? Because romance isn't about static chemistry. It's about emotional transformation. And when your beats build on each other, your readers won't just read your story, they'll feel it. Now, if you're starting to feel like these beats and phases sound a little too rigid, I get it. But here's the truth, structure doesn't limit your creativity, it unlocks it. In fact, once you understand the emotional architecture of a love story, you're freer to take risks, add depth, and trust that your story will still hold together. Romancing the beat isn't a formula, it's a flexible guide. It gives you something solid to return to when the story gets murky. And let's be real, it always gets murky. You don't have to follow it perfectly. You just have to understand what each beat is doing emotionally. It's a support system. And that support is what helps you write bold, beautiful, layered love stories that feel like no one else's but your own. So, there you have it. Romancing the beat isn't just about plotting scenes. It's about honoring the emotional rhythm of love, guiding your characters through transformation, and giving your readers the kind of arc that makes their hearts flutter. Structure doesn't limit your story, it amplifies your voice, your vision, and your romance. And no matter where you are in your writing journey, I hope you remember your love stories matter and the world needs them. So keep going. Curious about other ways to structure your love story? Check out the next video in my story structure series, where I show you how to use Dan Harmon's story circle to craft a romance that's not just swoony, but transformational. And if you need help structuring your story, developing compelling characters, or getting unstuck, I offer one-on-one coaching for romance writers. Details are in the description below. Until next time, love, Helen.